I think Happy Birthday Bugs is a good opportunity to stop and consider how far we've come. It's not because it's some amazing milestone game. In fact, it's the exact opposite of that. It's a firmly middle-of-the-road average game. But this is now what an average Famicom game is. Happy Birthday Bugs is trying to directly compete with Super Mario Bros. 3. It's a big game with some free-scrolling levels, and lots of fairly complex platforming action. If we ignore the more refined visuals and just concentrate on the gameplay, this would have been one of the most significant releases of 1986 or 1987. But in 1990, it's the bare minimum. Game design's an iterative process with people constantly responding to what other people have done. And in the Famicom's lifetime, we've seen generations of that process occur. Enough where a cheaply made licensed game from a second-tier publisher is still a reasonable game that you might get some fun out of. Naturally, the bugs in the title refers to the popular character from Walt Disney's Steamboat Willie. 1990 marked the character's 50th anniversary, hence the title and the 50s everywhere. The plot of the game is that Bugs has been invited to a celebration held in his honor, and on the way other characters from his cartoons will try to stop him. There are 6 worlds with 4 stages each, and the action here is about as simple and straightforward as you can get. The A button jumps, the B button has Bugs pull out a hammer. That hammer has a lot more reach than it appears too. It's handy while you're walking around, but you really only need to break it out for bosses. Quite a few enemies will explode or fire something when you kill them, and only a few particular enemies drop anything, so usually you're better off just going past them. You can also stand on most enemies, though for these lines of balls, you can only do that while they're green, not red. There aren't a huge variety of pickups in the game either. What you'll commonly see are carrots. And when you collect these, they'll turn into those little 50 symbols. Keep in mind that you can step on those. That's a vital technique to get through a lot of the game. What the carrots do for you is give you bonus chances at the end of a level. For stages without a boss, you go to this bingo card where you draw 5 numbers, and then if you get at least 3 in a row, you'll earn an extra life. Get more than that in a row, and you'll earn even more lives. Every bingo card drawing costs 10 carrots, and you just keep playing until you've used all your carrots up. If you defeated a boss, then you go to a whack-a-mole game. Here it costs 25 carrots to play, but you earn an extra life with every 5 moles that you whack. And if you have enough carrots after time runs out, then you just play again. There aren't a lot of other pickups in Happy Birthday Bugs. One of them is this... I'm not really sure what that icon is supposed to be. Well, it makes you move a bit faster until you get hit. Speaking of getting hit, Bugs starts out with 3 hearts, but you take different amount of damage from things. And so it can take several hits to eliminate a heart, or you might lose a heart in just one shot. These floaty guys will drop heart refills when you see them, and that recovers 1 full heart, or the heart icon will refill you to max. And that's really everything there is to playing Happy Birthday Bugs. They don't pile a whole lot onto this platformer. Where Kemco really put their effort was into the level design. And while there really isn't anything here that's exceptionally special, it is fairly well executed. There's some stages where the layout changes as you walk. There's the standard platforms that disappear when you step onto them, seesaws that you have to hit in order to launch yourself into the air, and passages that you have to go down in order to reach distant areas. This is exactly what you'd expect out of a platform game, though that also still makes it feel a bit generic. It feels like this could have been any video game they had in development, and then they just put the characters in when they got the license. Kemco was notorious for doing that with the Crazy Castle series, so it's not far-fetched to assume that that's what happened here. Your goal at the end of every stage is to pick up the giant carrot which will carry you on to the next level. At the end of some of these you'll face Daffy, who's indestructible and you really just have to get around him. And every 4th stage has a boss which you'll have to hit 3 times with the mallet. These bosses aren't very difficult, though it is possible for them to do a ton of damage to you. The biggest problem with this game is that the controls do feel a bit stiff. It's like it takes bugs a moment to get going after you push in a direction. It's not much, but it is the kind of thing that pushes this down into the B tier for Famicom platformers. While there aren't any direct sequels to this game, Kemco's tendency to apply licensees willy-nilly to whatever they have lying around makes me think that there is at least one sequel. But as for this original game, well, it's barely remembered for a reason. It's not bad enough to hate, and not good enough to really go back and revisit. I'm positive that there's going to be comments on this video saying that they had this game when they were a kid, and they loved it then. And that's reasonable. It's the kind of game that you could enjoy if you don't have a whole lot of other options. But you do have other options now.